Welcome to You Can Do It. Today we're going to be looking at the DI2 EW111. Well, it's a Shimano unit, and it's the Bluetooth adapter which allows you to control things via Bluetooth. Now I've got a Canyon Ultimate SLX with the first generation of DI2 on it. I'm just stripping it down to do a full cleanup and everything, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go through this module. Now I'm going to save you a lot of time, guys, because I've had a lot of problems with this and it wasn't clearly stated. Okay, so if you've got problems with this, just watch this first. So basically the great thing about these units is, if you just undo this box here, which I've already done, I'm not going to mess around going through what you get in the packets and everything, but the main point is you get that unit there. Now the great thing about this DI2 is you can plug it in anywhere in the system. So before we start, I mean, the idea is to put it in here somewhere and get it out of the way. But right now I can just put it in series into any of the links here to see if it works. Okay? Right, before we plug it in, let's just check. There's the unit there. So if we just use this, yeah, look, working fine, and the other side, look, fine. Okay, so everything works. So there it is. Let's go through it quickly. So let's plug it in series. So basically I've just put this back on quickly just so I can run the system check. So I'm actually just going to plug it in series in here. So I'm going to pull this one out here. There we are. And then I'm just going to plug these two in here. So I can't do that and video at the same time, so just let me do that and I'll be back in a second. Okay, they make a bit of a job about this, but all you need to do literally is just be careful, but hold that there, pull it out, okay, and then plug that. Make sure it clips, it sort of clicks when you put it back in, but that's now just in series. Okay, now let's see if things work. No, nothing works. So it's completely bricked out the system. Okay, bricked out the system. Now the way you can double check is you're supposed to be able to, once you put that unit in, you're supposed to push your finger under there, one, quickly, and basically this should start flickering. These two lights should be flickering. I've plugged my unit in and it's completely bricked it. Everything's stopped. Okay, now if you have that problem with this, it's telling you one thing: you've got the wrong battery. Okay, so if you haven't got the right battery, forget about trying to install this. So the first things first. So what battery do you need? I'll be back in a minute. This is the battery that you need. Now most people get this unit here, plug it in, and it bricks the system because it's got the wrong. You spend ages trying to work out what's going on, and it's because you've got the wrong battery. And it is there in the small print somewhere, but most people don't ever read the small print. But basically you've got to have this BTDN110A battery. If it hasn't got the A, it's not the right battery, and it won't work with this system, and it'll brick it. So first things first, let's just take out this. Let's take this back out again and just check that the system works. Unit's off, that's all plugged back in again, and now let's just check. Yeah, it's all working. So basically that's the Bluetooth unit. That Bluetooth unit, it blocks the system if you haven't got the right batteries. I'll carry this video on and I'll take the battery out and you can see which is the wrong battery. But if that is blocking your system when you plug it into your bike, it means you haven't got the right battery and you need that battery. So don't even bother going any further. Go and buy yourself that battery and then you should be good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this battery out here and just show you how with the right battery it will work. Okay, so stick with us. Right, so wherever your battery is, take it out. So obviously on this Canyon it's here, so I need to put a little Allen key. I'm not going to undo it fully, I'm just going to loosen it off, so then you should be able to pull the battery out from under here. So that's why I've had to take all the crank out and everything just to get the battery out. But the newer ones I've got the battery in the seat post. But this is not really a video about the battery or about how to take the battery out, but I'll just show you how I take it out on this one. So I'm just going to loosen that and then I'll pull the battery out. Loosen those enough that when I just gently pull on that, look, if you look here, I'm pulling it gently, the battery will come out with it. See? If it was still too tight, you run the risk of pulling the connector out. So I've just put it, make sure it's loosened. But if you undo this too far, then the whole unit fall down. It's a pain in the arse to get back in. So just do it loosely. There we are. I've got the battery out now. So look, so that battery there is the original battery that came with it. It's actually still goes really well, so it's a bit of a shame I had to buy a new battery. Okay, so now we'll get the new battery out and we'll plug that in and we'll see how it goes. But I just need 2 amps for all this, so I'll be back in a second once I get this out. Okay, look, I've got both batteries. I've got the new battery is a different colour. It's not the colour that's important, but it's that number there. Look, it says B. You can see there on the lower one. It says BT DN110A, and that's what you want. And the top one doesn't say that. So they're both the same. 7.4 volts, 500 milliamps, 3.7 watt hours, and 1 amp maximum current, and maximum voltage is 8.5. So anyway, if it's got that number BTDN11A, it will do. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect this battery, the old battery, plug in the new one, and then I'll plug in that unit and we'll see if it works. So bear with me, I'm just going to plug this battery in and then stick it back down in the inside and see what happens. So this new battery comes with just a little safety plug on the top there, look. So it's just a plug that doesn't really go anywhere, so I'll plug that on the old one. That's presumably so it doesn't get short, it doesn't short out. So now I'll plug that up into that battery's in. I'm actually not going to plug it all the way in because I'll just turn it over and check it all works, because I need to actually put the unit in there eventually. So I'll just do exactly what I did before. So I'll turn the bike over now. Okay, I'm going to simply put that in series again like I did before. Actually, before I do that, I've got my new battery plugged in there. Let me just check that it works. Nothing works now. That's interesting. I'll push my button on here. No, maybe the battery's flat. So what am I going to do is charge that battery up first. So let me charge it up. I'll be back in. Okay, sometime later. That was indeed flat. So I've charged that up. I had to use the sort of charger, plug it into there, charge up that battery, and that does work. So now when we push all this, look, yeah, it all works. So yeah, so the battery's fine. So I've got the correct battery. We've plugged this little unit in here, look, and it was all still working, so it's not bricking it. So if it's bricked, if that bricks it, you know you've got the wrong battery, okay? However, let's move on to something else that's a little bit strange here, and this might help a lot of people that have some problems with this. Now, what they say is you need to push this for half a second, or if you've got the one on the end, which I've got, when I rebuild this, I'm going to put the one, I've got the one that goes on the end there. You push that for like half a second, let it go, and you should have red and green alternating flashing lights. So these are supposed to flash, you know, red and green, right? So if I do that, look, for half a second, look, nothing. However, it still works. Okay, so nothing. So I thought, well, maybe I need to. It's not got the right firmware, or it's not working, but it obviously does sort of work, even though the lights are not flashing. So I downloaded the eTube app, which you just download that from the App Store or whatever, and that's come onto there, look, and that's searching. So we've got the app there, get started, look, connect to bike. Now, this is not flashing, yeah? So I presumed that it wasn't working, but what I found out, look, it's not flashing now. If I press, it's searching. Can't find anything, basically. But if I come back to here and I just push that for the half a second, there we are, that was half a second, yeah? Look, immediately it finds it. Even though these lights are not flashing, it's in pairing mode or search mode. So just to so some guys you might have installed all this, it doesn't flash, you think shit, it doesn't work. But if you push that for half a second, let go, even though the lights are not flashing, look, let's just try. So if we start, for instance, lights are not flashing, press that for half a second. So I have, because it will knock the bike over. There we are, half a second, press plus. Look, it's found it straight away. Press that. Now, hopefully, it should connect to the I'm well impressed with this if it works, because I thought I was going to have to do all this with a cable to my PC, and because I haven't got a PC, I've only got a Mac, I was going to have to download some sort of virtual platform so that I can mimic. There, look, see, look, it's in. Right, look. So we're all in there. I'll say OK on that. I'm just going to go next one. Taking a bit of time. Oh yeah. So it's in. So it's customized. So I'm in there, look. Now what I'm going to just go is to just update. See what happens there. So bear in mind I had no lights flashing. Oh right, so look. It's got it all now. Look, and it's saying there, update available for and that unit there. So maybe that when that's updated, maybe the lights will start flashing. No, update for that and update for the battery. So let's get on and update that all. Before starting update, be sure to read the notice below. Do not perform any other operations during update. So I'm going to call that notice says. Probably says. It's like washing paint dry. Okay, so we're going to update all. Yeah, I couldn't get that notice when I logged on, so I'm just going to go update all, yeah? And here we go. What does that say? Place it nearby and do not move. While the firmware has been updated, do not turn off the smartphone screen or other apps. Also place your smartphone near the wireless in blah blah blah. Okay, update. It's updating. I think it's giving us percentages there. It's obviously updating. So we'll just leave it for a bit. I'll come back in a second. It's got a little red dot over the bike, so presumably it's just doing all the update now. It doesn't. Oh, it's actually good. Look, this is going 5%. So it's doing the updating as we speak, 6%. Right. So I'm just going to leave that until it's fully updated everything, and I'll be back in a minute. It's still updating, but once it's updated, it goes solid. You obviously get the tick. So it's updated that one. It's updated that and that. It's 70, 80. See that? It's done, and it should go down to the next one. Be 100% done, and then it will start presumably doing the next one. Should be one of those two. Wonder which one that'll be. Suddenly got a tick there, and it's now doing that one. So it's just going to go down and do them all. So I'll come back once they're all updated. Basically, it updated all of those, so they were all like a solid blue bit, and then suddenly it just went update complete and came back to this screen here. So they're all updated, look, to the latest firmware. So that's good. And also, right at the end, I've got these two light both flashed. So let's see. So that's basically it from a point of view that I've updated everything now. So let's just see if I do that again, if it will. Oh, it's connected, isn't it? So let me just disconnect this. Press on that. Disconnected. So that's now disconnected, right? So if I press plus, I can still find it. It's probably still. Let me just take out of. Well, I've deleted that. Anyway, so let's see now that all the software's up there. What happens if I push this for half a second? Ah, see? Wow, and that's what it should have done. So the problem there was that it needed a update, firmware update. So if yours doesn't do that, it still works. You just need to do a firmware update, and then you get the flashing lights. I don't quite know. All right, so now, presumably if I just go to my eTube, skip that. Connect. Yeah, she's done. So we're in. And once that's starting to connect, look, the lights have stopped flashing. So yeah, so that's it. So this video really, while that's doing all that, this video was just about if you have the problems. I mean, there's loads of videos on the internet showing you all the different ways of adjusting things, but this is just about if you've got a problem with this thing. And actually doing all this, it's so easy with this. I'm just thinking that even if you don't want to wire this in permanently, because, you know, I've been riding this bike for thousands of miles and I haven't got a battery indicator. I just before I do a ride, I put my things there, and if the blue light if the green light comes on, then I know I've got plenty of battery. But you could just keep one of these just handy, and then you just literally disconnect it from your rear derailleur, plug it in, and then that immediately gives you access with the app to do all your tuning and everything like that, rather than buy that there's an adapter that you can buy that connects from there into your PC. It's much better to use this and this, even if you just don't want to wire it up permanently. Just have it as a way of entering the system and you know, tuning your system. So look, I hope that helped. I mean, I'm in now, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, I'm in. It's all done, so I can customize everything, maintenance, and look, it tells me with batteries. Anyway, you know, there's plenty of things on the internet that shows you all that. So this video is not about that. So basically, just to recap, you've got one of these, plug it in, and if you plug it, if once you've plugged it in, nothing works at all, it means once you've obviously checked your battery's full before you do it. But once you plug that in, if it bricks everything, then you know you've got the wrong battery. Once you buy the new battery, plug that in, make sure the battery is fully charged, and make sure everything works. If it does work, but when you press this, you don't get your flashing lights, that's because this needs an update, a firmware update. But press it for half a second, even though the lights aren't flashing. Once you've downloaded the eTube, you'll be able to connect to this and do all the things like that. So, hope this has helped. Certainly relieved me, because I was getting quite stressed out about it all, because I bought these things, I plugged them all in, nothing worked. I thought, Jesus. And then it took me ages to find a video that actually said about the battery. But actually, after looking at this, look, it does state there quite clearly on the packet. With that unit, you've got to have that battery or that battery. And I've got that one. But the thing is, if your battery's inside here or here, you know, you don't always know that you've got the wrong battery until nothing works. So anyway, I hope this has helped. I don't do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of biking, but I don't do a lot of videos on biking because there's thousands of people out there doing it. But if you do want to see any more biking stuff, subscribe, and hope to see you soon.